All right.
Doing
Good, bro.
very good, actually. Good to see you, man.
You too. I really enjoyed the show. It was quite funny. I'll start with you, McKell, because I sat down and I explained the concept to my wife, and I said, right, so it's this kind of younger misfits solving supernatural crimes on behalf of Sherlock Holmes. She was like, oh, that sounds really cool. Let's watch it. And she said, oh, is it a CBeebies thing? And I was like, oh, yeah. And then obviously someone's eyes got gouged out by in the first scene, and she just looked shell-shocked. This isn't a CBeebies thing, is it? I mean, do you think some audiences, like people like my wife, they could be in for quite a pleasant surprise when they sit down to watch this?
Yeah, definitely. I think that what makes Irregulars so unique is that it's mixing sort of that teenage coming of age story with these horrific murders that's been going on. So it definitely has that sort of horror element. You know, I don't think it's something that's like super scary and super gory. I think it's something that earns its right to have those frightening moments amongst all of the other emotion and storyline.
Yeah, and Jojo, I was going to ask, I mean, the idea, I mean, there's this idea, isn't there, in kind of period dramas and in period settings, that everyone must talk and act in a certain way. Was it quite freeing in this to have a kind of freedom whereby the dialect and the language, it doesn't seem to be of its time, it was kind of modernized?
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, for starters, I think it makes it super entertaining to watch. Like, it gets relatable, and like there's, if people want to pick problems in the fact that it's not like the perfectly recreated Victorian period drama, then our accents are really the last place you need to start. You should probably start talking about the fact that there are literal like zombies running around London. And like, I think with a TV show, like, you know, the cast and like the way that we're acting, it should reflect the audience, you know. And like, I think that Irregulars should be open for everyone to come and watch it. I think it could be, I think a wide sort of age group and sort of variety of people will be into it. And I think that helps, you know, that helps sort of modernizing a bit, and it makes it super fun, I think.
Yeah, McKell, do you think this kind of shows how easy it can be done? That historical accuracies aren't everything. You know, suspending our disbelief as an audience is easier than some may think. I mean, do you think that this could be quite a good shining light to kind of give opportunities to a range of different talents? You know, I'd love to see a Gaz in Downton Abbey there to fix the pipes. You know, just make things a bit more accessible.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what makes Netflix, you know, so great amongst all the other streaming platforms, is that, you know, they stand on their own 2 feet, and then they do what they think's right, and you know, making this show as diverse as it is, from the casting to the clothes that we wear to the way that we're talking, I think all plays into sort of the Netflix mantra. And yeah, I think it's great. I think more studios and production houses should take a leaf out of their book and start opening up their doors more.
Yeah, and Jojo, this looks like you guys had a great amount of fun on set. Was there a particular day or a particular sort of scene or sequence that you remember was most memorable shooting?
I mean, I think that the sort of the core of the show is the gang. So like all of the sort of gang scenes that we shot all together, like I loved, like and like actually equally, like having a gang meant that, and like because we were super tight on and off camera, like it meant that every day was like a total pleasure, and there were no days where I went back and I was like, God, that felt long, you know. Like every single day was like, wow, let's go, let's do more, I want to keep going, because it was such a pleasure to be there. But yeah, I'd say like the big gang scenes when we're all together are like when we were like firing on all cylinders, and like I felt like we were at our prime, because we can just bounce off each other so much, you know?
Yeah, with that in mind, McKell, how was it? Because the production was halted, wasn't it, because of COVID? How was that break? Like, as Jojo was just saying, there's this kind of, I don't know, adrenaline, I guess, that you kind of run off. Was it quite difficult in that kind of little downtime to kind of keep the same mindset and maintain that energy and enthusiasm for when the production resumed?
Not at all. It was actually the opposite for me. It was like the steam never ran out throughout those months, and it was very strange, because, you know, we'd never experienced anything like that in our lives, where the world has halted like that. And to know that we're going back and finishing off a show was like the best thing ever. So yeah, it was like trying to keep it alive, but as well, I was like super pumped and excited just to get back and finish off the show, because it had been such a long time we'd been working on it.
Yeah, and Jojo, I mean, being you sort of mentioned, obviously, we're talking about the kind of the accuracies on set and stuff, but at the same time, it does still sort of represent a kind of the era it's set.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
When you the production design like that and props and extras, it must be so much fun. It must tap into that kind of quite inherent playful quality. It's almost like being in a kind of weird, smelly.
It's incredible. Like it's the sets and the costumes and the makeup made the whole experience so immersive. Like for instance, we have a set in Wentworth, which is the sort of streets outside of our cellar, and our in fact the den, like where we live. Incredible set, and all of those sets were so huge and so well made, and you're surrounded in it by this hustle and bustle that makes it very easy to like sort of totally immerse yourself in this Victorian London. Like even we have like a sort of sewage pipe thing that runs through the middle of our den that we used to call the bath, and that was they filled to get like the color right for that. They filled it with dried shiitake mushrooms. You put it in the water, so even when you're down there, it's like it stinks. It stinks of like mushrooms, and it's all rank and damp. So it's properly like the whole experience was properly immersive.
Yeah. I don't think I could handle the smell of mushrooms like that. I hate mushrooms. I think that would have been quite.
There was a moment where Harrison's in there. Is all I will say. Where Harrison's in the tub, and that because they like raised the temperature of the water up so it could be in there for a bit longer, so it was like freezing cold water. So that was when the smell was really unleashed. You've actually got like a huge cup of soup brewing in the middle of the studio. That's always good.
Yeah,
that's always a good thing.
I haven't won that. I just love those kind of sets. When I've been on sets like that before, where everything's kind of dressed up. It's just when you go to like the canteen, you've just got sort of vampires and like
sat next to having a coffee, sat next to a zombie. Yeah, it's bizarre. Yeah. Bizarre to be honest, man, which is amazing.
So I was looking through doing my research there. I was looking through the canon of Sherlock Holmes books and stories and realised that the titles are all a bit mad. So I want to test your knowledge with a game of real or fake. So I'm going to read you some titles of Sherlock Holmes stories, and you have to guess if they're real or whether I sat there this morning laughing into my cornflakes. So I'll start with you, McKell. The man with the twisted lip.
McKell, are you there?
Oh, he's frozen.
Is he? I'll take this first one when he sorts out this whatever's going on there.
Oh, he's gone. It just looked like you were really seriously listening to the question. Anyway, I don't know if you heard. I'll just start again. Right, okay. The man with the twisted lip.
The man with the twisted lip. That's fake.
Oh, that one's real.
That's real?
Jojo.
How is his lip twisted?
No way.
Jojo, The Adventure of the Honeysuckle Murderer.
The Honeysuckle Murderer. Surely not. It's a combination of like, it's something very sweet. Honeysuckle. I think my grandma used to have it in her garden. Maybe the murderer. Those two clash for me. So I want to say, not real.
Okay, you're right. McKell. Hey. The Adventure of Mad Mary.
The Adventure of Mad Mary. This kind of sounds like an Edna Skiffins moment.
Yeah, it really is a McKell Spike style character. That.
I think that's a lie.
Yeah, I made that one up as well. The Adventure of the Dancing Men.
Hang on a minute. The Dancing Men. This is actually genuinely ringing some. Is it the Dancing Men or the Singing Men? though? I'm sure it's one or the other. I want to say real. For Dancing Men.
That one's real.
Woo!
All right, the last couple.
I know a bit about Sherlock Holmes.
The Adventure of the Crooked Man.
The Adventure of the Crooked Man. No. How can he have an adventure if he's crooked though? That's the thing. I think it's real. Maybe Sherlock would want to help him.
Yeah, that's real. That one. And the last one, I'll come to Jojo. The Adventure of Shoemaker McGee.
Shoemaker McGee. Now, Shoemaker McGee is actually a close personal friend of mine. And I happen to know that he, in fact, did not go to Sherlock Holmes. He went to Clouseau with his case of his missing cannelloni beans.
That
was the caterer. Yeah, he was actually the caterer on the Irregulars.
Well, thank you for playing that game. I wasn't keeping scores. There was no competitive nature. I just wanted to read up a bunch of names. But thank you so much for your time today, guys. It's been a real pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey,